Thank you for the lovely introduction. You've said quite a bit about me that even probably I didn't know myself. Having said that, I think today the topic that you've given me to talk about is what young aspiring students could look forward to in the travel and tourism trade going forward.
Yes.
Right? COVID has taken us all a step back, but nevertheless, it's not something that's going to die, and it's close to our hearts and will always be close to our hearts. It's just a matter of time that things are going to rebound. Europe has already opened up and they're able to travel amongst their own countries. India is still a little behind. I think our government is a little more cautious in terms of allowing international and domestic travel. But with all the way things are going, I think we should open up within the next couple of months fully to the international market. As far as budding students are concerned, our industry is probably one of the fastest growing industries across the globe. And there is a dearth of good people to work in this industry. Obviously, you have tourism and travel, which encompasses a gamut of fields. You have airline, you have retail, you have hotels and hospitality, you have travel and tourism related fields. And when you take travel and tourism, you can again bifurcate like journalism, sports tourism, you have medical tourism, you have adventure tourism, and so on and so forth. You have again religious tourism and many other facets that you can do. So there are a lot of niche segments that you can enter into depending on where your interest lies. As I said, hospitality industry per se will grow back at a very fast pace, probably within the next 6 months. Whatever we have seen as a downside is just a wake-up call to all of us to slow down a little bit, gear up, because the future is going to be very bright. So for all those students who are probably even completing their catering now or hotel management courses, there is nothing to fear. There is going to be a huge requirement of good qualified people in the industry, and it will come very soon. It's just a matter of giving yourself a couple of months and things should start rolling. This is probably the best time that you can also look at your own inherent talents and see what else you can develop, which could benefit you in the long run as far as your career goes in whichever field that you choose to be. If you look at the news, I'm sure a lot of people, actors, actresses have started sharing home videos of how they've got home gardening done, home cooking, and so on and so forth. To tourism, where today many people look at tourism when they travel for something which is a comfort factor. I'm sorry, I think, is my internet okay?
Yes, we can listen to you. Yeah, perfect.
You can listen to me, all right.
Yes, yes.
All right. So what you can do is to give people that experience. Today you have a lot of people who you have Airbnb and other travel portals which offer you unique experiences when you travel. So you have to look at where you have these capabilities within your surrounding and see how you can bring that into your hospitality or tourism related activity that you'd like to join in. Apart from this, the only thing that I could add is that our industry is all about perseverance, consistency, sustainability, and more important, creativity. So if you're able to create, there is no end for our business. So I think this is how I'd like to share a very, very short talk to you. I'm sure you've had a long day, so I wouldn't like to talk, though I could probably talk a little longer.
No, there are questions coming up, and there are questions. I mean, when we talk about travel and tourism,
Right.
of course, we're passing through a passing phase. And we're passing through a particular phase. I would like to call it as a learning phase rather than any other phase, because we're learning so much and we are kind of, changing the way we deliver business, we've changed the way we deliver education. Of course, the technology was available till about 6 months back, 2 years back, 3 years back, the technology was there. But now the dependency on technology is much more than it was. So coming back to travel and tourism, A student who wants to get into travel and tourism and he's in class 11th or 12th, what is the upward mobility you would like to advise him as far as travel and tourism is concerned?
Sorry, when you say upward, what would you what would you like me to answer on that?
Upward mobility in the sense that after class 12th, what does the student should look out for as a course option, possibly a college option, and
Right.
then of course, can the student get into this after science or commerce or arts, or is it important to do a graduation in this, or can he just do a diploma and get into it? What is the success ratio and success rate? If we can just talk a little bit on that aspect.
Okay. Right now, as far as after your 12, you can do any stream, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that in your mind, you'd like to serve people. If you have that kind of an attitude, you're qualified for the job. Today, most colleges offer you a graduation program. The Institute of Hotel Management offers you a 3-year degree program in hotel management. You have many tourism related programs in various colleges across the country who also offer you either BSc programs or BA programs which are in tourism and travel. So almost every course that you can go for is a graduation course by itself. And as I said, after 12th, irrespective of any stream, you can get into this industry. And once you get into your, say, for example, the hotel management school, even in that, after you pass out, you can look at various opportunities. You can get into airline, you can get into retail, you can get into fast food, you can get into tourism. From there, it's a related subject, or you can even branch out on your own into an entrepreneur.
Fine. And there are a lot of career options available in travel agencies as well. That's what students relate to when we talk about travel and tourism. So like, Cox and Kings and, so many other companies that are there. Now, of course, so one student can join, take up as a job as well. And I have seen individual people, entrepreneurs, running their own travel agencies. So what's your take on that?
See, I think the first thing, as I said, is that if a person has a keen interest in travel and tourism, then A, he should be reading up a lot on destinations. B, he needs to explore a little bit on his own if he is able to. C, he needs to intern with a good travel company to get insights on how the business is run if he wants to become an entrepreneur. Most of these companies like Cox and Kings, Thomas Cook, and all the big companies, they have a very good program where they train people into travel and tourism activities. You're also given the opportunity to, escort groups abroad. You have exposure into the international market, and then you know what you're really interested in, and then you can develop yourself to go into a particular segment. So,
Wonderful.
so what I would recommend to any student who wants to get into travel and tourism is read a lot, understand destinations, and if you have a passion to travel, try to travel as much as you can.
I think we've got a lovely question coming up from Surya Mukherjee. He's asking, what are the career opportunities in travel and tourism in terms of, the money you can earn, or possibly till what level you can grow in this industry?
Surya, what I would tell you is it's opportunity to the infinity. It is how far do you want to take it? It's how are you going to be able to create a niche market for yourself? Now, there are people who would start off in a small way, but create a niche. You have to find a market which you think is good for you. For example, as I said, you have adventure tourism. Adventure tourism is today picking up in a large way in our country, but overseas it's already been exploited to a very large extent. In India today, sea sports are not very popular yet. Only now people are coming in to getting jet skis and other, paragliding and other activities. So these are all a niche market where you can look at where people are looking for adventure. So the convention of traveling on a holiday encompasses also all these kind of sports. You have trekking, which today is again becoming extremely popular. If you have very good destinations where people can go for short treks, medium treks, long treks, or where you combine learning the culture of that region, the cuisine of that region, and all that into one umbrella, you have a market for yourself. And that is something that you can expand exponentially, where it's a never-ending business. So there is no limit to that. The ceiling is the sky.
In fact, to add on to what you said just now, there's some very interesting, market that has opened. Of course, I wouldn't say it's a part of tourism industry, but since it is done, I can put it in here. There are these food bloggers, food tours.
Yes.
Like from Delhi, they will travel all the way to Chennai to cover
Absolutely.
food in Chennai. So that's a part of course, they're doing food. They're covering food, but you can call it food tourism because eventually they come and stay in Chennai for 7 days or 5 days and they cover all the streets of Chennai and they cover all the foods and those gullies and that amazing food that is being sold around Chennai, and they're blogging about it. So that's a new concept that has set in. So where do you see this kind of travel and tourism, which is now taking birth thanks to internet, thanks to social media and the blogging?
I think that's the future. As I said, this food tourism which you're talking about, I have met a couple of people in Chennai itself who do these kind of food tourisms in and around Chennai, and they just go within one small area, and there is so much that you can learn that you've probably never seen or heard of.